Time management. What do I do in order to stay on top of my goals or my to-do list on a daily, weekly, monthly, and so on basis? Well, let's talk about it. I like to start with the big activities first and then work my way to the smaller activities. Better said, I like to think about it from an overarching, like, what do I want to do this year, to what do I want to do this 6 months, to this month, to this week, to this day. Hi guys, my name is Jake Diego, and on this channel I talk about how you can improve your Amazon business. Also, mix in some personal development things there and share my goals with you so that you can hold me accountable, but maybe you find some goals that you want to pick up too. In this video, I want to share with you what I use for time management. Now, I'm basically a scheduling person. I like to put things down on a calendar, but don't let that deter you because it's still a very loose schedule. In that, I know what those those big rocks are. I know there's a conference coming in, say, July, or I'm climbing a mountain in, say, August, which are both true things. Or whatever those big rocks are, those will sit there in the month or year that they belong to. Similarly, I mentioned year there. Those overarching goals are going to be things such as having a wholesale arm of my business and achieving up to $10,000 a month with that, and so on and so forth. I know what the big picture is. So I know what the big picture is, then I have an idea of what's going on for the month, and those are more or less the big rocks that I'm talking about. A family event going on, such as a wedding, friend's graduation, a conference, maybe something of that nature. So think of those like bigger project things. Maybe closing on a house, buying a house, looking at a house, or moving. It depends where you're at in life. A lot of those things won't change maybe by the day, or if they do change by the day, maybe they won't change by the week. So that's why I consider them bigger rocks. Now, once I have those all in place, then more or less the other stuff will filter in. Because a calendar has Sunday on the left and Saturday to the right, I like to start my week on Sunday and start planning for the week ahead. In that, I know that I have 6 days during that week, and so what I do is I put something down for the morning, the afternoon, and the evening. And that is usually a larger project. So looking at the repricer reports, talking to a virtual assistant about creating a working procedure, sourcing, which can sometimes be an all-day activity, but it's one of those bigger activities. It could also be preparing an FBA shipment or shipping out an FBA shipment, creating a YouTube video like this. So think of like a larger project or whatever. And so that's what I'll do for those 3 time slots. Now, depending on if you have a 9 to 5 or whatever, your big project for the morning might just be going to the gym. It doesn't always have to be like this huge thing. With having that in place, let's say that store is closed, or let's say you can't get to that store or you can't get to that activity. Well, you know other things to do, and you won't end up sitting idle or doing something that is unproductive. And I don't beat myself up if I don't get to everything that's in the list, making sure that I am still making that steady progress and I am keeping the momentum going. I know loosely what's going on. Similarly, if there is, maybe I'm doing research on a Facebook group, trying to find kind of problem areas or commonly asked questions or whatever, or that kind of thing. Maybe I do that on Monday, but it wasn't scheduled till Tuesday. And again, that's all good. But it's just to know loosely what's going on, because you're going in whatever direction, you're watching TV, somebody's distracting you with this or whatever. You don't want that kind of thing, because you want to make sure that you're getting towards the big project. Jumping back here to the big rocks or whatever, but it's nice to know what those are, because then you can break them down as to what needs to happen in 6 months, what needs to happen in 3 months, what needs to happen in 1 month, what needs to happen in 2 weeks, 1 week, half week, 1 day, half day. So that's the beauty of knowing those, and then again going in to schedule that on a weekly basis before the week begins. And you know, personal preference, maybe your week begins on Monday, and that's absolutely fine. In my head or whatever, it works a little bit better if it starts on Sunday. Although it's loose, it still leads to progress in the end, and that's what it's kind of all about, because it all goes back to the idea of discipline of getting those things done, of creating that momentum, of moving along closer and closer to where you want to be, and then eventually being there, totally nailing it. When it comes to time management, I like to schedule things loosely and have some idea what's going on during the week, during the day, during the months, during everything. I'm curious though, what do you guys use to schedule your days? Do you use some kind of planner, maybe some kind of sheet? I'm just curious about that. Let me know in the comments below.